Yo, 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 what it do, YouTube? You back with your motherfucking boy, FTCD, baby. Y'all already know how we rocking. Y'all know how we rolling. As soon as we start getting into it, let's get into it.
FTC Records. Why you drinking that shit out the bottle? Like,
I was smoking.
Now we smoking. YNW Melly, let's get straight into it. We ain't wasting no time.
Did the most egregious thing that a detective can do, the most egregious thing, and that is request that another officer lie and get called out by a prosecutor. They didn't give Mr. Demons the ability to get his not guilty verdict. Because I'll say right now, that would have been a 30-minute not guilty verdict. It would have taken 25 minutes to choose a foreperson and 5 minutes to deliberate, and he's found not guilty in that case. So he was denied that opportunity to get his not guilty. But hey, if this case goes to trial, bring him on, because he's a liar. That is completely hypocrisy.
YNW Melly appeared in court for a bond hearing. Melly's new lawyers put up a crazy fight in court today, and it really shows us how the next trial is going to go in January. His lawyer basically says, bring it on to the state. Like, it's wild. Hit subscribe, let's go.
Did your grandson ever get a passport to leave the United States?
No,
And so he has no driver's license and no passport, correct?
that is correct.
And you know that he has been in custody now for 7 years.
Yes.
I want to talk about the contact that you had with him since 2019. Okay, is that fair? Can we do that?
Yes.
Okay.
We've never seen Drew Findling in action, so
Okay,
it's a new lawyer,
okay.
and he has a bunch of famous clients.
Were you able to at first keep in contact with him?
Yes.
What were the methods by which you kept in contact with him?
I would write him.
Okay. Did you have any physical meetings with him while he was in custody?
I only got a chance to visit him a few times, and then everything just came to a complete stop. No communication at all. Yes, we couldn't go visit him. He wasn't receiving any mail.
No telephone contact?
No phone contact. I recently wrote my grandson. Here's the card. Return to sender.
And you sent that to him at the jail?
Yes.
She's pissed.
Has it been difficult for you at least to not have physical, telephone, or even written correspondence contact
Yes.
with your grandson?
Yes, it broke my heart. Not being able to communicate, not knowing where his mental mind is, just to hear his voice. Yes, it was very difficult.
Is it your understanding that if his honor allows Mr. Damon
Sound like Melly got a good lawyer. Shit, his lawyer in there putting in work. That's what you do. You bring family. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? They gotta show up for you. They gotta speak out. He got a good lawyer, and that's what his lawyer's showing. Good shit, good shit.
a release pending his trial, that the other family members will support him throughout that period of time?
Yes.
Okay. Is it your understanding that the family members will do their best as loved ones to make sure that he honors the terms and conditions, whatever they may be, as set forth by his honor?
Yes.
And based on the fact that I've had time to speak to you before, other than that, to your knowledge, Mr. Demons has never lived anywhere outside the state of Florida, correct?
Never.
No questions from the state, so obviously she's going to be a little emotional. It's her grandson. She's not accused of no crimes like Melly's mom or anything. That's just a grandmother. So this is a manager, I believe, for Melly, like through his management record label type shit.
Oh,
And,
she look
where
good
were
too.
you
God damn, that bitch
under
look good.
management?
I reside in Queens, New York, and we work remotely.
Okay.
Suddenly the microphone is off.
So we are the management company
She look good.
for artists and recording artists. We also have athletes and enter into production as well. But we pretty much assist in guiding the careers of our artists.
You never met Mr. Demons, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. And as general manager, even though you've never met him and he's been incarcerated for more than 7 years, he continues to be a client of 100K Management, correct?
Yes.
And so you've actually been managing his work, having never met him.
Yes.
Okay.
They've probably never even talked before either, if you think about it.
Now, for the court's understanding, you're a management company. Does he have a label?
Yes, he does.
And who would that be?
300 Entertainment.
Okay. And is that a division of a major corporation?
Yes.
And who is that? Who is 300 a division of?
Atlantic Music Group.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that's a huge corporation?
Yes.
So yesterday on Spotify, Melly streamed 1.7 million streams on
One
Spotify
day.
alone. Solo streams is just over 1 million streams on Spotify.
In one day. Man, these people waiting on Melly to come home, man. They can't wait to get this nigga out.
Though. So that's like $3,000 or $4,000 a day, I think, in terms of what Spotify would pay.
Does the company own a home, and please don't talk about the address, in Broward County that they're prepared to let Mr. Demons stay in should he be released on bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, so the house that he would stay in is like a house managed and financed by 100K Management, which makes sense.
And
Right.
Is there a recording studio
So a track
built into
on his
the home
house?
that he could do work?
Yes.
Okay.
If he gets bond, you know for a fact he's going to be trying to make as many songs with a brain would do, right? Like, I'd try to make like hundreds of songs, bro. Just
That's what I was thinking. I'll try to make so much songs.
He still be able to fulfill
So track on his house.
prohibited from using social media.
That's crazy.
No questions from the state again. Sounds like they're calling a correctional officer. This lawyer, her name's Carrie, and Drew are way better lawyers than what Melly has had.
So are you familiar with Janelle Demons?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Demons has been in the custody of Broward Sheriff's.
Bro. How you gonna, bro, Melly last lawyers was fire. That nigga that he had up there, fire. He need that nigga again. And that black lady too.
Office for over 7 years.
Yes.
How is he currently housed at Paul Ryan?
In Paul Ryan right now, he's housed in a unit. Yeah. He's in a unit by himself. He would take a 30-cell unit with the emergency response team deputy that supervises him 24 hours a day.
And when you talk about an emergency response deputy, they are dressed how?
Usually more tactical attire now.
But they're able to otherwise see all his activities.
Yes.
And other than the deputy that is in the cell with him, are there any other deputies that come in and out of the cell?
Other supervisors that may come through on shift, around things of that nature.
Other than super.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about
Why
it.
the fuck is the
Meet
supervisor
Base
going in the
44.
cell with him?
Thanks for the zoom in shot of the handcuffs.
Supervisors, any other deputies?
No, it's an emergency response team detail right now.
Okay. And because there's a lot of
They just want to make sure that y'all see that. They just want to make sure they paint a picture. You know what I'm saying?
deputies that work in the
Correct.
And what about other personnel? Any other person?
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. At this point, after 7 years, if he did it or not, get a man a bond. That ain't justice. That's not the judicial system. That's not how shit's supposed to go in the court system.
No.
Yes.
Allowed in
Yeah, governor
Get a
says
man a
that
bond.
health professionals that can come in. There's requests for like any kind of religious.
I may say, I have 2 lawyers in my DMs on Twitter that think there actually is a chance he could get bond. They're defense lawyers, so they have a defense-sided mind a little bit, but they think the judge could do it.
I know when.
I think so too.
There's no movement allowed in either tower while I'm there.
I think so.
Is that right?
Yes, when he's visiting, yes, the movement shut down.
I know there's a lot of you watching that aren't subscribed. Please hit subscribe.
So when Mr. Demons sees a lawyer,
sure.
the tower, both towers are basically shut down.
Anywhere that he may be going, yes.
They have to clear out everyone for Melly to see a lawyer. That's crazy.
He
Get
is not
outta
allowed
here.
Sight or sound of any inmate. Is that right?
Correct.
Wow.
And that's kind of how the rule is. No sight and no sound.
Correct.
So he cannot.
So just imagine you being locked up for the last 5 years. He been in there 7 years, but the last 5, 23-hour lockdown. No sight, no sound. Ain't talk to nobody, can't write letters. They want this nigga to go crazy. Y'all really want this man to go crazy. Are y'all really treating that man? He need to sue y'all ass. And I'm talking about a grip. I'm not no like $1 million. He need to hit y'all for like 5, 6, 7 million, dog. Cause how y'all keeping this man is crazy, bro. Ain't no way you gonna keep a nigga for 7 years, not be convicted, and then just hold a nigga for 23-hour lockdown. The dude said no sound. The police said he been in that bitch with no sound. No sound. Only thing he can do is sing in his head. He in that bitch singing all day. He's singing like Michael Jackson in that motherfucker. I promise you,
Hear
bro.
another person speaking, right?
What are the people talking about?
Right. No other.
Look at this dude, bro. Look at this cop. Look at this cop. Straight face, dead serious. They asked, who has he talking to in the last 5 years? He said, nobody. He don't got no sound, or he can't see. What the fuck? Bro, God, I won't have my dog living like that. Look at him, though. Look at him. He dead serious. This man dead serious, bro.
Detainee or other person.
Correct.
That
No,
nature.
no, the team.
He gets to go. Is it on in the
The
dorm?
recreation yard is on premises at the dorm that he's in.
Okay, so he's not taken out of the dorm for that.
No.
And again, it's basically a basketball
He ain't taken out of the dorm for shit. He playing basketball inside the dorm, nigga.
court.
Correct.
So he's able to play basketball with himself
Yes.
Inside the fucking dorm.
and nobody else.
Correct.
So he is not allowed recreation with
Bro, that's some... I just had to play that.
any other inmate or any other person.
Correct.
And I assume the ERT officer doesn't play basketball.
No.
with her.
So Melly be shooting hoops in jail just alone, probably.
Is he allowed to call anyone?
No.
And how long has that been since he's allowed to have phone contact with anybody on the outside world other than his lawyers?
I mean, I would take a guess. It's been a while. I have no idea how long.
If the records reflect maybe 2021,
I'll agree with that. Yeah, I know that.
Damn, 5 years.
And how about his ability to visit with family, his mom? Is he able to do any video visitation with friends or family?
No, this term is.
Okay.
Bro, 5 years. They say this man ain't been able to talk to nobody in 5 years, bro. The man said the room is soundproof. He ain't even been able to hear in that motherfucker. Get a man a bond, bro. Just at least give him a bond. Gotta get a man a bond.
I know a lot of evidence points to Melly. I point that out a lot. A shit ton of evidence points to Melly. There's people in prison
No, I don't.
There's people in prison sentenced to murdering people. There's people in prison that have.
Hey, I want to object to that. Ain't no evidence point to him, because if it was, he would have been convicted. It's been 7 years. They don't got a fuck thing.
Done heinous shit. They get to talk to their family members. It's because they're terrified of him talking to witnesses. That's all this is. But at a certain point.
So the only people, other than people in uniform or working for BSO, that he's allowed to speak with, video visit with, have in-person contact with, are his lawyers.
Correct.
Mr. Demons able to see or hear anybody who's not in uniform.
No.
So he's brought by himself.
Correct.
He's kept in the back by himself.
Correct.
He is not allowed within any to be able to hear anybody else speak, right?
That's the goal.
Or speak to anyone else.
Yes.
And is he serving a disciplinary sentence?
5 years.
No.
There's certainly some disciplinary issues with regards to disrespect.
Yes. I know there's some of those in there.
Yeah. And I bet you have some other detainees who are disrespectful at times too.
Yes.
Officers. And Mr. Demons has been in custody 7 years, more than 7 years with BSO.
Yes.
He's like, everyone else is disrespectful too, right? Why is the mic suddenly turned off?
So in 7 years, is there a set time as to how many times a cell is searched?
It's a minimum of once per shift.
Once per shift, so every day?
Every day.
Okay. Math is terrible. 7 years at 365 days a year are all the time, so that'd be 21.
You know how many times this nigga cell done got searched in 7 years?
100 something. Your math is no better than mine.
I just want to be clear. If you ever been to the county jail, they do come through and they search your cell every day. It's random searches. It's a hit. They search your cell every day in the county jail. So this ain't nothing like, oh, they just searching his cell. This is what they do. If you've been in Florida County jail, they searching them bitch every day.
Every day for more than 7 years, Mr. Demons' cell has been searched.
Yes.
Every day for 7 years.
You
Is
damn
that video
right.
of the phone
Every day.
real? How
That's
did he
what
have
they
a
do.
phone? Dude, this makes me think that video is fake now.
There's never been a shank found, right?
I know.
There's never been any kind of weaponry found. There's never been any drugs found. Okay.
There was a snitch that said Melly was selling laced paper or whatever that was being smuggled in from his lawyers. They never found it, I don't think.
And then I imagine you've had detainees that have physically attacked officers.
Yes.
Including like wrestling with them or really attacking them.
She's just going through everything he's never done. He's on his best behavior. He needs to be getting out on bond, all right?
Now with Mr. Demons, when he was in custody at age 19, he did get in a fight with some other inmates, right?
I believe so. If I remember correctly.
No, he got caught with that fly.
But since 2019, there has not been a single time that Mr. Demons has been in a fight with other inmates, right?
Not that I recall, but that's what
Get the fuck out of here.
And there's not a single time, while he has occasionally disobeyed orders and been disrespectful to staff, there's not a single time he's attacked any BSO officer, is there?
Good lawyer. Melly got a good lawyer.
Obviously not much bad behavior, apparently. I could have sworn the lawsuit, when they responded, they made him look like he was
One
the
of the-
devil.
yeah,
When Melly
the
sued
worst
jail,
person
It was
ever.
a list of like, I'm pretty sure hundreds of things he did wrong. So I'm a little confused right now. Look at the way the judge looking.
Yourself.
The judge liking that shit. I ain't gonna lie. He's smiling. He might
They
like,
are
he
found
feeling
to
good.
in these cell searches around all of your facilities, right?
Inmate aspect, it's not abnormal.
Okay. Have they ever been told they can't talk to any family or friend for 6 years?
No.
Have they ever been told they can't see any other person except a person in uniform?
No.
Or be locked in a cell with a person in uniform for years?
No.
Trying to point out some hypocrisy. All right, Alexandra Buckaloo, new state attorney on the case. She ain't playing no games.
Currently, he
Let's
is
see what
housed
she
in
talking
what's
about.
called an open door cell, correct?
Correct. Open door.
Open door. So he has the entire dorm to himself.
Correct.
He is not locked in a tiny cell 24 hours a day with no one to talk to, correct?
Correct.
He has the ability to walk around, right?
Yes.
He has the ability to watch TV
Yes.
all day if he'd like.
Yes. I'm outside of the normal lockdown time too.
Sure. That any inmate would be subject to.
Correct.
He has a big open space alone. Kind of crazy, right? I feel like that's got to be expensive.
The ability to change the channel on demand, correct?
Yeah, we just uploaded that video, yeah.
Sure. Unlike other inmates who have to share a TV with other inmates in their pod, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that TV is placed on one channel, and it's unlikely that they get to decide which channel they want because there's so many people there.
Yeah, generally just the majority rules in that scenario.
Okay. He has no shower restrictions, correct?
Correct.
He gets to play basketball, as you testified to, correct?
Correct.
He can work out
So
on
this
that
the
basketball
state
court. He's
talking?
fit, correct?
Correct.
He is allowed to have chaplain services if he's requested it.
Yes.
Has he requested it?
Not that I know of.
No chaplain services.
I think every day, correct?
Every shift.
Every shift. So how many shifts are in a day?
3.
So he sees 3 nurses a day.
Yes.
He also sees a psychologist or a doctor once a week,
Yes, mental health professional from once a week.
and he is allowed in-person visits with his attorneys that are non-barrier, correct?
Correct.
He's also allowed in-person visits with his investigator on the case, correct?
Correct.
And those are non-barrier as well.
Yes.
He's also allowed video calls with his attorneys, correct?
Yes.
He also has unlimited access to seeing a nurse or psychologist or psychiatrist, correct, if needed.
If you did, yeah, just as that.
He's also allowed to send unlimited amounts of postcards and letters to family and friends, correct?
Send that.
Basically, they just trying to say he not so isolated as it seems. Don't try to make it seem like he just in a box. He's seeing people, he interacting with people, he's people coming and going. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand how when he been locked up 7 years, 23-hour lockdown by his motherfucking self.
And receive. I was going to get to receive in a minute. But he's allowed to send out as many letters as he sees fit, correct?
Yes.
And within the jail, there's a process of how those are sent, correct?
Yeah, there's rules surrounding it.
And are copies made sometimes of jail mail that is sent out by defendants or inmates, I should say?
You make copies.
Are copies kept by law enforcement, by BSO, or made if they violate potentially protocol?
Yeah, I mean, there's a specific reason to, yes.
And do you know that there were letters sent out by the defendant that were kept by BSO?
That would retain copies, yes.
Yes. And have you seen some of those in the past?
Yes.
I was wondering what he wrote on these letters. His lawyers objected to the letters. It's hard to hear.
They moved me to another jail. It's way better here. I get a whole unit to myself. I'm out all day, and I got a rec yard, personal indoor basketball court, all to myself.
Oh, Lord, hold on. They reading the man letters, man? Come on, man. Oh, hell no. What the fuck? Oh, hell no. They read buddy letters? Oh, man. See, you gotta be careful. When you go to jail, you gotta always be careful that they're gonna read your shit anyway. He know, nigga, you YNW Melly. You know, you can't write nothing in code. You can't even, only thing you need to be writing is Christmas cards, Mother's Day cards, and nigga, that's it.
It's like a mansion. They treat me way better here. Food is better. I don't have a cell. It's open day.
Hey, bro, can you make me something that sounds like
Oh
I just died
my
one
God.
time in Japan and some angel started singing to me?
Yeah.
And I watch TV all day. Just me and God.
Oh. Oh my god, dude. Condition C5.
Way better food. I got a whole unit to myself with a basketball court, TV all day, the same S word. Just be like a mini mansion via. I can walk around all day and same S word, I wish in the box. Well, they call me mailman, so I call it a mailbox. Oh yeah, they moved me to a way better jail. I explained it in the letter.
So again, it's the pod to himself, dorm to himself, open cell, TV, all of that we've discussed.
Yes, and basically treated as a general population inmate in terms of the rights and privileges that he has while he's there.
And in addition to being able to send postcards whenever he wants, he can receive fan mail, correct?
Yes.
And he does in fact receive all his fan mail.
Correct, yeah.
And in order to receive mail, they have to just have the correct address to send it to, correct?
Correct.
So if mail doesn't arrive to the inmate, it could be because they didn't have the correct address.
Oh, that's bullshit.
It's not a postcard, or maybe something wrong with the postcards, manipulated, things like that. It has a certain standard it needs to meet. As long as it meets the standard, you'll get it. That was a timeline of events that kind of led up to why he's been under the restrictions he's under in terms of housed the way he's housed, which is not normal for family speaking any other inmates. But it's pretty much a timeline of everything he's done while in our custody up until that point that led to where he was in terms of, let's say, housing and restrictions. During his first 30 days, Demons was violating jail facility rules and regulations, and that began a continuous escalating pattern of behavior and conduct, which jeopardized the safety and security of the BSO detention facilities. At that time, he was charged with additional criminal offenses of tampering with evidence, capital proceeding, conspiracy to commit tampering, solicitation to commit tampering, and a plan to direct criminal gang activities. That was between the dates of April 10, 2023 and July 22, 2023.
What occurred on March 13th of 2019?
March 13th, he was issued a disciplinary report for violations, conflicts of trust, unauthorized phone use, and unauthorized phone acts. As it was discovered that he initiated communication with his co-defendant and recorded them via three-way call. And the jail security cameras verified that both inmates were present in respective housing units, communicating on the phone at that time. And he was found guilty of all charges, received 30 days confinement.
Hold on. A month after he was arrested in 2019, he was talking to Cortland in the jail, and Cortland was on the jail on the phone on the other end. It was a three-way call.
Three-way communication. Those are not permitted within the jail, correct? And defendants, inmates are made aware of that, correct?
Boy, and that bitch had emotion. That's how.
And that's especially not permitted when it comes to co-defendants, correct? And so in that particular violation, he received a 30-day sentence.
Correct.
And lost some privileges.
Yes.
At that point, he was not confined to, Paul Ryan.
Correct.
I'll loop March 17th, 18th, and 18th together. What were those violations for?
During cell inspection, he wasn't complying with staff directions.
Okay. What about March 29th of 2019?
He was violating.
Bro, this bitch ass police, bro. He just hating on the nigga, bro. He don't want a nigga to get out. Period, bro. What's the problem? What's the problem with it? What's his motherfucking problem, bro? What's his problem with Melly? He ain't doing nothing but fucking hating.
Regarding his phone restrictions, privileges restricted to attorney calls only from March 29th to April 12th. And during that time frame, there were a total of 24 calls made from his unique PIN. But he was also having other people
snitching like a bitch, snitching at, telling motherfuckers.
Portray themselves as himself and call on his behalf. And at the time, he also had a civilian put money onto another female's phone at that time, and he participated in violation by initiating the call with his unique PIN and having his voice verified before the call could be placed.
So when you say having his voice verified before the call can be placed, what does that mean?
To give that voice recognition, to be able to use the voice recognition on a phone system, so he was able to basically verify, like, hey, this is me talking to them, allow other people to communicate that should now be communicating on a phone call.
April 4th of 2019, he received a 2-hour room restriction due to disorderly conduct.
Yes.
April 8th of 2019, he was just counseled, correct, for walking around the unit and talking to other inmates instead of returning to his cell, correct?
Yes.
And he also lied to staff?
Yes, he lied to staff and asked if he was on a video visitation. He confirmed the visit concluded. Later in the same shift, he was getting counseled for the same behavior. The second video visitation concluded, he went to the phone, made phone calls instead of returning to his cell he was supposed to.
May 2nd of 2019, he was observed banging on the window or door, correct?
Correct.
May 7th of 2019, he was being loud and disruptive during lockdown, correct?
Correct.
May 10th of 2019, he was
basically, they just saying all the shit that he been doing while he been in jail. Talking on the phone when he ain't supposed to, and then acting a fool, yada yada.
Respectful towards staff and banging on the wall and window during head count, correct?
Correct.
And when a deputy addressed him, he responded, I don't give a fuck, I'm out of this shit.
Correct.
May 11th of 2019, he also received another 2-hour room restriction for hiding in the shower and refusing to go back to his room during lockdown, correct?
Correct.
Hiding in the shower?
May 13th of 2019, he said some inappropriate comments to a female deputy as she...
Bro was catcalling a female deputy.
June of 2019, he was counseled many times and put on 2-hour room restrictions for
why not?
talking to other inmates when he's not supposed to, or being loud or disruptive and banging on doors, correct?
Correct.
Again, on June 24th, 2019, he was counseled for disrespect towards staff, including stating to a female deputy some other inappropriate words.
Correct.
June 30th, 2019, was he also placed on another 2-hour room restriction for lying to the deputy, stating that he had another video visitation during lockdown.
Correct.
July of 2019, again, counseled because he was kicking and banging his door, correct?
Yes.
Some other violations through July regarding horseplay and not returning to his room, correct?
Yes, and passing those should be passing under orders, under security orders.
Okay. He also was placed on another 2-hour room restriction on July 12th, 2019 for disrespecting staff by using obscene language, again, correct?
Yes.
July 15th, 2019, he was placed on a 2-hour room restriction for refusing to get up for school.
Yes.
Basically, they
July
just
18th,
snitch.
2019, he, along with other inmates, refused to go to their cells in a timely manner, correct?
Correct.
And was he, on July 19th, 2019, which is now on the 3rd page, did he receive a DR?
Yes, for threatening another, refusing to obey an order.
Okay, and when you say threatening
Oh,
another,
doing
who
what?
was he threatening?
He was threatening the deputy.
So while you were questioned if he ever actually physically attacked the deputy, and you said no, he has in fact threatened deputies with violence.
Correct.
And for the record, on July 19, 2019, after being disrespectful and saying, fuck that shit, I ain't doing that shit, he then pushed the deputy's hand away and said, don't touch me, motherfucker, you don't know who I am, I'll have my people take care of you in the streets.
Correct.
Smart founders know something most people miss.
Lord.
Get your domain name even if you're not
they
ready to
snitching
launch
on
your
me
business.
like a
With Wix, you can grab your...
He's telling everything.
Bro.
And he received 20 days of disciplinary confinement during that time, correct?
Correct.
And also 10 days of probation?
Yes.
And he received a hearing that was talked about on direct examination, correct, where he can testify?
Correct.
And he said, I'm a celebrity and I don't want inmates in my face. So he can not have inmates near him.
Correct.
That's basically him asking for PC, right?
I'm sorry, I just interjected. Are we going to read through each one, please?
Sure, Judge.
Defense lawyer is mad they're reading all of these lists of everything he's done wrong.
Throughout 2019, the defendant had numerous violations that eventually led him to different confinements, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And despite
shout out
the
to
numerous
No Hard.
20-day confinements, he still would violate, correct?
Yes, and the room restrictions, yes.
And Mr. Demons has been seen on video, actually.
Maybach music.
And you mentioned that you saw on video the defendant passing some of what we call kites under his door and or the wall doors of the jail, correct?
Correct.
And some of these kites haven't in fact been collected.
Hit that
Judge is letting everything
subscribe.
in over objection.
He not only just violated rules and procedure of BSO, but he also
Hit that subscribe button.
presented as a security risk, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And there were numerous reasons why he was presenting as a security risk, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in this particular kite, state 6, that he sent under his door or one of the walls, the portion I want to talk about is I should get a burner number from my lawyer today. When I do, bam, don't ever call that bit without your PIN, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. So when you see burner number, does that indicate to BSO that there is a potential security risk there?
Oh, I see why he don't got the same lawyers. This nigga is on record saying, I'm gonna have my lawyer bring me a phone. Nigga, shut up, whole ass nigga. Basically.
Absolutely.
Okay. And are inmates allowed to have cell phones?
No.
Okay. Have inmates been caught with cell phones before?
Yes.
Is that a security risk?
Absolutely.
Why is it a security risk?
They can facilitate either criminal behavior outside the facility when they have unrestricted phone access like that that's not monitored, or they can coordinate some sort of attack, some sort of potential escape plan, things of that nature, without us being able to get triggered to it because they're not using phone systems like that.
Boy, it ain't looking good, boy. It is not looking good. It was looking good at first. What they go talking about you having a phone, you and that bitch acting an ass.
It should be.
It ain't happening.
The defendant's tenure that we talked about with the
Exactly. See, same thing he said. It ain't happening. Boy, it was looking good, bro, until they started talking. When they started talking, oh man, you ain't getting that. Man, nigga, you talking crazy in that bitch. Hell.
jail here. There have actually been some deputies, technicians, and nurses who have been terminated for their assistance with the defendant in doing things he's not supposed to do, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell the judge some of those incidents?
Oh yeah, I think I remember this. A correctional officer got fired for helping Melly with something.
Incident where a deputy and a, I don't remember, that's a Canada deputy and a tech that were providing the defendant some material, printed material they should not be providing him. That got them under investigation for giving him things that shouldn't be giving him. And if I recall correctly, the deputy while under investigation resigned and the potential technician ultimately got fired. Another instance was a nurse when he was in Paul Ryan the first time. A nurse ended up getting a note or passing a note to him, trying to get him to call her. So she was trying to start some sort of relationship. I don't know what exactly. That got her fired. And then more recently, we've had a active investigation where a staff member is under investigation for providing him with potential access to telecommunication devices.
Oh, so it's real.
Damn.
The correctional officer did help him get a phone recently. That's the FaceTime video.
That in a minute. So still sticking with the first time he was brought to Paul Ryan, right? He eventually was brought back to the main jail and put in one of those dorms we talked about where he's in a cell with other people around him, correct?
He's in his own unit, but there's a unit adjacent to him that has numerous inmates in there.
Damn.
And again, was still
They got
talking
caught
through
with
the
a
walls
phone.
to other inmates, correct?
Correct, under the doors, the walls, etc.
And then, as you mentioned just now, most recently, there's been another incident that is now under investigation, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And were you made aware of a video that went viral of the defendant?
Maybach music.
Yes.
And you've seen that video, correct?
Yes.
And what is it?
It's a video of a demon on a cell phone while another person is on a cell phone FaceTiming while they're at the basketball team and an NBA game.
And the video that you watched today was a clip of that particular video online, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that was of January of this year, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And this video that you watched this morning accurately depicts that video that went viral all over the internet back in January, correct?
Yes.
I knew that shit was real, bro. AI is not that good yet. Well, it is good,
I seen the video. That looked just like that nigga. That's that nigga.
but I don't think I've ever been tricked by AI with video because you can just tell it's not there completely yet. It's like 98% there.
Nah, that was him. Everybody seen the video when he on the phone.
Like old people get tricked all the time, but I can see when it's AI.
Are you familiar with AI?
Not so much, I know it is.
Okay.
Maybach music.
That AI has the ability to replicate people,
You say so.
and there's been people who said that's not me,
Is that his lawyer saying is that AI?
that was
Or is that the state?
AI, right? In fact, our president has said that.
I've heard of that happening. I don't know the technology well enough.
Okay, and in terms of this video, you have no way of knowing whether this was true or created by AI.
I'm not a video expert now.
Be different from the jury, but just so argue at the end.
Why can we never hear this judge? Put a mic in front of the judge, bro. I hate this room.
You've watched this video, and you testified earlier that he's only allowed video visitation with certain individuals, correct?
Correct, as attorneys.
And the woman that's on this video FaceTiming with the defendant in January of 2026 is not one of those individuals, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you mentioned an active investigation, but there are portions that are out there, correct?
Yes.
And isn't it true that the deputy assigned to Mr. Demons during that time was in fact arrested for bringing the defendant a cell phone?
Correct.
Place
Oh man,
After
look at this
work.
fuck shit, man.
at your own pace. No stress.
Ah,
World of
damn.
Warships
Let's
as
get
naval
to the good
combat.
part.
And once it was figured out that this deputy brought the defendant a cell phone, and you saw the video online, was a cell search done of the defendant's cell.
Yes.
And were numerous cell phone chargers found within his cell.
Yes.
So is it because of the defendant's behavior, thousands of violations that are within those documents that have been presented and are in evidence, that he has now been brought back to the Paul Ryan facility because of his own actions?
Correct.
Get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Ooh.
This whole
So they
man.
found chargers. So you're not gonna have chargers in your cell if you're not charging a phone, right?
You talked about the issue of letting other people use his PIN. It costs money for a detainee to be able to call people, right?
Correct.
So if they don't have money, if they're poor, they're not able to call friends and family, right? Because they don't have a PIN. They can't afford it.
Correct. Oh, they have a PIN.
She call motherfuckers poor. Flat out. If they poor,
They don't have money. So using somebody else's PIN who does have some money on it, that way they can make a call. The issue about a deputy giving Mr. Demons papers that were not allowed, they're for
Bro getting pictures of his girlfriend. We all know what he doing with them.
In all three of those exhibits, it's always termed as way better than where he was, right?
That's what it is.
So way better than where he was is being all by himself, sitting in a big cell now with one ERT officer and no contact with his friends, his family, anything, right?
Correct.
And that was way better when he got moved to Paul Ryan than where he had been.
That's what he said, yes.
All right, that witness is excused. I don't think that went well for the defense because it really does show that he sent a letter saying he's like chilling in there pretty much. Like he got a big place to himself, like bragging about it. I did see people say that he could be just saying that to his family to like make them feel better, but I don't know. I feel like if he was really miserable in there, he'd be writing up a letter telling them he's miserable. Or I could be tripping.
Complete my undergraduate.
nah, he ain't tripping. Melly fucked up. Again.
Work. I'm majoring in psychology, University of Virginia, graduating in 1991. I then went to medical school at Mercer University School of Medicine, graduating in 1993 with my MD. Then educationally went to residency training at Emory University School of Medicine.
Man, fuck all the accolades, nigga. Fuck all that.
In Atlanta, studying general psychiatry, finishing that in 2001.
Oh, so he's conditions of confinement, psychologist type shit.
Less social contact than we as humans expect.
Oh man, I know a motherfucker who smoke dope when I see one. The fuck?
Regular basis, and the mental health impacts there, which would include depression, anxiety. It goes all the way up towards individuals.
Look at this nigga eyes, cocked like a pistol. That nigga smoke dope, man. You ain't gonna tell me that nigga don't smoke no dope, man.
Having suicidal ideation from that social isolation, from the deprivation that can occur. Some individuals become psychotic, and at times it has become such an issue that the literature supports that the United Nations calls it the Nelson Mandela rule over isolation that was passed in 2015. And then the American Psychiatric Association has come out with a position statement.
Maybach music.
In solitary confinement or social isolation for periods of over 15 consecutive days. Juveniles should not be subjected to that at really any point in time, according to that position statement. And again, it's just a position statement, but it is what the science supports. It is. So a lot of the research is based on, the research that I'm commenting on is research that's in peer-reviewed literature, generally accepted among the peers. Some of it has been poked at. There's obviously research on both sides of the equation. One of the things I've learned is in teaching at law school is attorneys seem to like bright lines and well definition. Maybe they don't. Medicine really hates bright lines. There's really nothing in medicine that seems to be just fixed because there are 8 billion different copies of DNA.
Bro, he doing too much jaw jacking. Get to the point. What are he? So this medical psychiatrist, let's see what the fuck he gotta say.
From a mental health standpoint, when an individual is placed in isolation or has some sensory deprivation, that is, there are restrictions around their communication. We at our core as humans are social creatures. We don't like to not have contact with other humans. Even I'm an introvert, but even the most extreme introverts still like to have some human contact. To have very limited.
Bro, he ain't said a fuck thing yet. This man smoked dope. Bro.
On contact. Humans will go to lengths to try to have human contact, even if that's a violation of the rules. And that's our innate desire to do so, be that written communication, oral communication, or visual communication with other human beings. That's part of who we are.
Putting a pretty good argument out with this psychiatrist.
What does that mean, cumulative, when it's preceded by, what, 6 years?
Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to, again, I haven't heard somebody being isolated for that length of time. It's where the general consensus among mental health practitioners within a correctional setting that there's a national organization that looks at correctional health, and they have put out consensus with more than 15 consecutive days.
I already tell you, y'all boy Melly might not be getting out this
From a
bitch.
psychiatric standpoint, could be damaging.
All right, it was lunchtime. Coming back out for the last half of this hearing. Security guy that will monitor Melly for 24 hours a day, or his company will monitor him at least.
My daily operation is a former Marine sniper, and my other operation guy is Navy civilian and also law enforcement.
I'm having trouble understanding this guy.
Do you place who that person is professionally?
Melly got real security coming up here. This is a PR team. This is a lawyer who, you know what I'm saying? Now he got a team that can give him a chance, at least to get the nigga up on. You got real security coming up here vouching for you. These niggas might be ex-Navy SEAL.
Above doing the right thing, and that is complying with the laws of the state of Florida and the United States.
Clients are client, and I make sure myself and my team, nobody know regulations or law. Our jobs protected with our clients, but sometimes we're not allowed to break the law.
So he just said basically they don't allow their clients to break the law in front of them.
Create no friendly relationship with the client.
My jobs work from client to complete, and that's it.
Okay. Now, you did a full inspection of a certain home in Broward County, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Without saying the address of the home, can you give like the approximate size of the home and a physical description? You don't have to be too detailed for his honor.
Yes, it's a gated community with 24/7 security. They got 4 entrances and 4 exits. Each one they got one armed security guards, and then they got police going there pretty much every hour. Because the police station is literally like 2 blocks away from there.
If there is a court order that says if he does anything that is deemed to be inconsistent with this order, you'll report to any authority that his honor would require, whether it be the court, probation, even Madam Prosecutor. Would you do as the court instructed?
Yes, sir. And myself and my team will be very careful about our reputation. So we don't, our team and ourselves, my team and myself, we care about our reputation. So we don't, like I said, we track clients, and regular clients. We don't give no prejudice out here, and then we follow rules.
I believe, without getting specific, very recently you told the defense that you basically broke a contract with a very famous person because they wanted you, don't be too specific, to do something that you believed was not proper. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you, by doing so, you passed up on making a decent amount of money because you wanted to comply with the laws of the state of Georgia and the United States, correct?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, who's that in Georgia that tried to do something illegal and he was like, hell nah, ripped up that contract.
So that those were done because you want complete visibility at all times.
This might help Melly get out. This might help Melly get out.
So you can make sure, when you're involved, that the court's order is being complied with, correct?
Yes, because I don't want to put myself in a situation where I don't.
Oh God, let's hear what the state asked him.
How much would you be charging the defendant for 24/7 surveillance?
I was thinking the time, the private only we charge a company is about $69 for a day for 24/7.
You said $1,600
Yes, sir.
a day.
Yeah, 24/7, 20 hours.
Space 44 super
$1,600
agents.
a day.
Careful, there's no going back. No setup.
They trying to charge
Just say
Melly
hello.
$1,600 a day for security.
6,800?
And were you hired if the defendant is released?
6,800?
24/7
Yes,
surveillance.
that was the condition I thought.
Okay.
$7,000
And so
a day or
$1,600 a day till
$1,600?
he's potentially released if he's found not guilty, correct? With 24/7 surveillance, does that mean that someone such as yourself or someone on your team would be in the bedroom with him while he's sleeping?
We don't have cameras. Like I said, we inspect the house. We don't have like that in and out of the house. Also, the community is a gated community. So I present myself with the streets.
Maybach music.
We want to be outside, inside the house. So this to avoid situation people thinking was going to see a car outside with the lights or a car outside army. So I think it's right between 1 and 2 cars. Keep it in that way, you can see the whole house super clear.
What about the bathroom?
The only way I can see the bedroom is when they close it, when the curtains. But when the curtains open and we feel something's weird, we already tell them we go inside to figure out what's going on.
So that's what I'm asking. You're not going to be placing cameras within the bedrooms themselves?
I was thinking, at least the court requirement, because I don't want to see somebody privacy, and the bathroom can be itself, sleeping naked, who knows? So it's a private area, but if you guys require it, we do it. There's no problem with that. Like I said, I'm here to follow whatever the court sends.
Yeah, you can be clapping cheeks in there. All right, I believe this is like closing arguments.
There have been change of circumstances, which I'll outline for the court, we believe, over the course of the last, let's say, approximately 1 year. And I would say it's somewhat ironic.
Joey.
We've heard testimony about
What's up, Joey?
our client going into custody in 2019 at 19 years old. The irony is that tomorrow, this young man turns 27 years old, and he's been in custody since 19 without ever having been found guilty of a single offense, with one indictment having already been voluntarily non-processed by the state. And it's worth noting that not only was it affirmed, but no good faith exception even applied. And the gist of that affirmative finding and the underlying motion to suppress goes to the credibility of Detective Moretti. And we spent a lot of time studying this trial and studying the transcripts, and of course we've had the unique opportunity to see YouTubes of a trial. That's a rarity. And it's fair to say that 2 things take place. One, as was discussed earlier today, so much of this case was about a hearsay statement by Cortland Henry. But this case was navigated by the field general, that being...
So this is Melly lawyer right here. Everybody want to hear talk Drew Finley, who everybody talk about.
Detective Moretti. Detective Moretti, who was the subject of the affidavit, was found to, his credibility was called into question in the granting of the motion to suppress and ultimately the Court of Appeals position.
The state appealed that evidence that the judge ruled and limited the window of scope of time frame of all the evidence, the Snapchat, email, all that. In that appellate court, all the judges were shocked at how overbroad the search warrants were, basically saying that Detective Moretti fucked up.
But in light of his credibility into being called into question, we are strongly arguing that the court think about the chiseling away of his credibility, the chiseling away of his believability, not to his investigation itself, but just to the issue of credibility, because as the court is well aware, credibility and even impeachment are what generate, through instructions to a jury, etc., what generate reasonable doubt. But for your purposes, what chisel away at proof evident presumption great. And stepping in and looking at this, I think it's essential, and we think it's essential, that the court look again at the issue that involved the July 27th, 2023 interview of Michelle Boutros regarding a statement that took place October 12th, 2022, understanding that the defense team that tried that case, the transcript as reflected that Your Honor reviewed, did not have the benefit of that knowledge. We have studied the examination of particularly Mr. Adelstein, who spent what appeared to be hours and hours cross-examining Detective Moretti without the benefit of understanding and knowing and having been given that information, and we know how that impacted the state attorney's office, but what happened on October 12th, 2022. And of course, as the court is well aware, that involves Assistant State Attorney Michelle Boutros, and it doesn't escape me that she was with the Public Integrity Unit at the time. Revisiting that for a second, as the court knows, at the state attorney's office in this building, there was a service of an interview and a search warrant on Jamie King. And at that time, because he was outside of his jurisdiction from the city of Miramar, he needed to have somebody from Broward County Sheriff's Department there. He did not.
So talking about Michelle Boutros, the state attorney, remember the whole state attorney that was present when Moretti ripped Melly's mom's phone out of her hand, and then apparently he told an officer outside of the room to say he was in the room when it happened, so he had jurisdiction, that whole drama. They're putting the lead detective on the case, his credibility in question, which they should. I mean, that's what the defense is going to do.
Prosecutors that specialize in homicide, prosecutors that specialize in crimes against women and children. As a defense attorney, our most difficult cases are dealing with the Public Integrity Unit prosecutors. They are what we call sometimes the truth prosecutors, right?
So this Melly lawyer, so far I ain't hear him talk about nothing, but let's see if he can get him out.
They protect the thin blue line between corrupt law enforcement, overly violent law enforcement, and the community.
Bro, look how the judge look at you like.
They're the ones that handle corruption, political corruption. They protect the community from corrupt public officials and public employees. Personally, I have been dealing with Public Integrity Unit prosecutors I have incredible respect for, from my representation of law enforcement officers to elected public officials at the highest level. And they consider themselves to be the integrity, the truth prosecutors. So the fact that this involved somebody from a Public Integrity Unit speaks very strongly to the defense on behalf of Mr. Demings. And so to have Ms. Boutros say that she was in a room with the lead detective in this case, Detective Moretti, and the defense tried this case, and Mr. Adelstein do his cross-examinations and not know that she made a statement that in that meeting in 2022, Detective Moretti said to a deputy from Broward County Sheriff's Department, "You need to say you were here when I served the search warrant." For her to say, "I immediately reported this to my supervisor." To her to say, I won't work with Moretti anymore. I would not have anything to do with investigating with him. For somebody from the state's attorney's office, and I'll give you that transcript if Your Honor doesn't have it.
And Judge, if I may, I'm just going to...
I remember that shit happened. When Melly trial was going on, they was trying to get one of the state attorneys to lie. She was like, hell no, I ain't lying. And yeah, I remember that shit.
Object to this claim. None of this is presented in evidence, so I am confused on how we're now bringing this up in argument.
Great news! Now your account has a level, and you get free daily cases for it.
Can't hear the judge. Disaster.
And for her to say, you don't have, thank you, Your Honor, you don't ask another law enforcement officer to lie for you as a joke. and I wouldn't work with him anymore, and the case was given back to
He overruled her objection, obviously.
the then trial attorney, Christine.
I remember
Bradley.
that shit.
Why is that important? Well, it's
Yo,
important
what's
because in the
poppin'?
transcript, Your Honor, there are numerous times when Your Honor is reading that transcript and taking into consideration
67,
whether or
what's
not proof is evident
poppin'?
and presumption is great, you have to think respectfully about what was lacking. At the crescendo of Mr. Adelstein's lengthy cross-examination of Detective Moretti, on July 17th in the transcript, on page 95, line 3, he talks about talking about witnesses in his cross-examination.
Good, my brother.
Line could result in
Hit that
somebody
subscribe
being
button for
charged
me.
with a crime. Page 95, line 17, not being truthful could result in being arrested. Talking about accessory after the fact. But again, Moretti.
Right now, his lawyer talking. So if you think he getting out free, you might want to hear what he got to say, because this is his lawyer right here talking.
Addressing the issue of lying. All this without Mr. Adelstein having the ability to impeach and thoroughly and siftingly cross-examine Moretti about the fact that he was requesting another law enforcement officer to lie.
What this tells me, at trial, Drew is going to grill Moretti about this, about lying.
In front of a jury that was unable to even reach a verdict in this case is something that the court should take into consideration as we chisel away by the original finding. He says this similar statement again. Lying could result in being charged. At page 96, line 17, page 98, line 8, lying could result in their arrest. And so the credibility of Detective Moretti, this is the lead detective. This is a case, again, as the court noted, that is basically relying on a hearsay statement by someone whose case was ultimately dismissed.
Maybach music.
And a detective who is literally the summary witness. He is bringing it home, not just summary witness interviewing records, but bringing home all types of issues regarding his opinion and marshaling evidence and rendering opinion after opinion. You did not seek a search warrant on or about October 26th or in the weeks afterwards regarding the one place that you should have sought a search warrant, the most obvious place possible, which is the residence of all 8 people that were at the studio the night this happened, including Cortland Henry, including Mr. Demmons, including the 2 decedents, and then 4 other witnesses. As he should have, cross-examined the detective. Tell me about your search warrant. I didn't get one because I didn't have a nexus. I made sure I called Ms. Howard to find out whether Florida was different than the rest of the United States, where we look at probable cause. When a detective talks to a prosecutor talks about probable cause, the bottom line is Detective Moretti dropped the ball. Many of the shiny objects which resulted in this massive suppression of phones and Twitter accounts and all these little shiny things, but didn't look to the one place where your decedents and your defendants were residing. And his answer was, I didn't have nexus. Well, if he had been armed with the fact that this detective did the most egregious thing that a detective can do, the most egregious thing, and that is request that another officer lie and get called out by a prosecutor, if he had been armed with that information...
So he's shitting on him for not getting a search warrant or whatever for the house they all lived in.
To even not only impeach, but to call Ms. Boudreaux, because they could have done that. It could have been a very, very different transcript. And I think it's important that the court take that into consideration. The state attorney, Broward County State Attorney, makes their decision on how...
Just pause that for a second. How old Melly was when he went in. Look, he done aged like a motherfucker. He ain't aged too much. But damn, they just sucking the life out of that nigga, bro. Sucking the youth out of that man, bro.
How to move forward. They made a decision after 2022 to go with a detective as a lead detective in a case that requested another officer to lie and cast aside the opinion and the philosophical and ethical beliefs of one of their public integrity prosecutors. That's something they have to live with. And obviously there's been a change of guard because of that type of behavior. But it is something that the defense was denied. So when you read that transcript...
I wonder if this motherfucker already made up his mind.
When Mr. Adelstein cross-examined him, going through at the tail end of his... in the beginning part of his cross, he went through all the places that he passed and asked if he looked at security video.
His lawyer is doing a real good job. So all y'all Melly fans, you might got a chance. His lawyer doing a good job. I ain't even gonna cap. His lawyer doing a good job.
And then he said, I didn't do this one and that one. And then on redirect, he said, well, in a question by Ms. Bradley, most of them, like CVS and Walmart, focus on what's going on inside a store. I will tell you something. Your premises liability lawyers and the limited work I've done, that is just an untrue statement. That's just an untrue statement, and Detective Moretti, I'm sure, knows better than that stores are concerned about their parking lot. Your Honor, some other issues to take into consideration. and that is what is different between now and then, from your last time you reviewed this 51 weeks ago, is that Cortland Henry, who was charged as a co-defendant in this case, and charged with murder in the first degree with the use of a firearm in counts 1 and 2. Cortland Henry, who the state in that first transcript believed was lying from the first trial, who the state went out of their way to show that he had gunshot residue GSR on his hand. The state went out of their way to show that he had DNA on his clothing. That the state dismissed those murder charges. We don't know. All we know is in that transcript. That transcript, the court made some observations at the beginning of the day. We don't know from what his statement is. All we know is what he gave. But what we do know is that at that time, he was charged with murder. For whatever reason, given all this, the state's assessment of this case is that his case, without any cooperation, was worthy of a dismissal. And that should speak volumes to the court when the court is assessing proof evident presumption grade. Because there's really nothing in the record that the court could look at. Nothing evidentiary in the volumes that you've looked at to distinguish these two individuals, Mr. Henry or Mr. Demons. And so that's yet another thing to take into consideration. To the extent that the court has looked at the tampering case a year ago, because a year ago that case existed, to the extent that that was something that the court was contemplating.
Okay, Trey, what's up, my
Your
boy?
Honor knows that we got in this case, I believe, last August, and
Leo
Ms.
K,
Houghton
what's
and I, from the
up?
very, very beginning, were absolutely committed to trying that case. There was no attempt for us to continue the case. As the court noted, we came into the case, filed a series of motions. Quite frankly, from a defense perspective, there wasn't a lot done on the case. We really weren't clear which of the attorneys was actually in the case and who were not in the case. But we came in and not wanting to continue anything, trying to handle things with efficiency and promptness, filed our motions, ready to go. We laughed yesterday as we prepped for today about we have text messages and phone calls on Christmas Eve. We were in communication through the holidays. Your Honor was kind enough to have 250 jurors ready. I believe you said you had 250 backup. The day before that trial, the case was dismissed with what we thought was without explanation. And then, of course, as we noted in our motion for bond, in our footnote 1 or 2, the state issued a statement about not wanting to wait for a rule.
Producers, this plugin helps you finish your tasks way faster. Check this out. I'm going to start with this loop that I made here.
By the court. That's just unacceptable.
But yeah, the state pretty much tried to say that they dropped the witness tampering charges because the judge didn't rule them something in their favor. Yeah, pretty much. Like, it was very bizarre.
The state didn't give Mr. Demons the ability to get his not guilty verdict. Because I'll say right now, that would have been a 30-minute not guilty verdict. It would have taken 25 minutes to choose a foreperson and 5 minutes to deliberate. He's found not guilty in that case. So he was denied that opportunity to get his not guilty.
He's talking about witness tampering trial.
So here's what's not different when we use this incredibly high standard in the state of Florida, which is beyond guilt and reasonable doubt. And that is that this is a case that a jury was not able to render a verdict. 1, this is a case with no DNA implicating Mr. Demons. 2, this is a case with no fingerprints implicating Mr. Demons. This is a case with no surveillance showing that he had anything to do with being in jail or, more importantly, shooting anybody. 4, this is a case with no eyewitnesses whatsoever.
Well, there's surveillance of him being in a vehicle. I don't know what he meant by that.
This is a case where we have a detective, the lead detective that ties the bow and brings it home at the end.
He's such a better lawyer than what he's had.
That is asking another officer to lie. Your Honor, I'm not one of those lawyers that says at night, you know, God, what a crappy profession. I hate it. I love being a lawyer. My history is full. That's how Ms. Houghton and I are friends. We're not friends from trying cases. We never tried a case together. We have both been committed our whole careers to bar associations. And that's the foundation of our friendship.
A good lawyer.
So we're both lawyers that are honored to be lawyers and respect the other side. You'll never hear me condemning prosecutors, and I always will jump at the opportunity.
That's a good lawyer, boy. He going an extra mile to try to get this nigga out.
Opportunity to represent somebody in blue because our society needs them. But here's what we don't need. We don't need a lead detective pinned up against a public integrity prosecutor and right in front of her trying to get another officer to lie. That casts doubt on everything that Moretti does, everything that he touches. And I will be the first person to be shocked if he stays lead detective in this case. We've all done.
Boy, boy, hey, he firing some shots. He trying to get the detective fired off the case, my boy.
Cases where somebody, for whatever reason, is removed from a case, and a new person comes in and picks up what they did. But hey, if this case goes to trial, bring him on, because he's a liar. Ultimately, the motion to suppress that is affirmed by the Court of Appeals, which casts doubt again on his credibility. There's no need to cross-examine because there's nothing to ask, because it's irrefutable what we heard. It's irrefutable. It's irrefutable that 27% of Mr. Demon's life has been incarcerated without having been found guilty of a single offense. If we look at him...
Judge is like shaking his head like, shit, bro, what if this judge does this?
From the time he was turned majority in the state of Florida,
Oh no, man, I think Melly coming home. What? Hey, I think Melly coming home.
FTC Records. Why you drinking that shit out the bottle? Like,
I was smoking.
I think Melly coming home.
Maybach music.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I think Melly coming home, y'all. I think he coming home, y'all.
And 0.5% of his life has been incarcerated. I've looked into the cognitive state. Begins, they say, at 3 years old. So his cognitive state of his existence would be 87.5% of his cognitive life has been sitting in a jail under these conditions. And so we have to come up with something over these 8 months to get him out of these set of conditions. We wanted to see him last night, and we couldn't see him because we had to wait till everybody clears the floor so we could see little 5'6", 112-pound Jamal Demons. It's unbelievable. And so we believe that, as you heard, humans need contact.
Does he keep calling him Jamal Demons?
I feel terrible for 2 decedents in this case, but it's not a death case. It's not a death case when you're just relying on a hearsay of a guy you handed the case away to. So it's not a death case. And so we think that to get on the other side of isolation, the court should structure a bond at our suggestion. We will furnish the address to the court. We offer
Maybach music.
As we just did.
Stream is lagging.
We think there should be 24/7 GPS monitoring.
Say chat.
We present to the court a continuum of how we can do the private security. It can either be to and from court, to and from whatever, whenever he leaves, whatever conditions. Was employed then, he's employed now. Importantly, I do want to remind the court, his grandmother says he doesn't even have a driver's license, let alone a passport. So in terms of fleeing the jurisdiction of the court, there's nothing like that. In terms of ties to the community, that issue is addressed. But these are infractions of somebody that has been in jail since 19. These are infractions of somebody that has not known, really, adult life. So much of his adult life has been shaped and formed in a county jail. And it is just impossible to judge somebody under that set of circumstances. Any of us that have been teens ourselves or parents. I mean, I sit and think of my kids. What would they be like?
This is giving us a lot of insight into what this trial is going to be like, and holy shit, dude. No wonder he is one of the most hired lawyers by celebrities.
He a good lawyer,
the
bro.
cell phone location.
I
I
can't
couldn't
even
hear the
cap.
first point, though. Melly's phone tracked around with the car, and the sack chaser's phone.
Are going to aggressively pursue every issue in this case. I think you could see that a little bit of different in how we approach things. And so I will say one thing, and that is there was a contrast in the testimony of a special agent from the FBI and the way the cell phone testimony was explained and offered through Detective Moretti. Detective Moretti was way more liberal in his explanation of things and was contradicted that of an FBI agent. And so I'm glad you bring that up because the state went with somebody to contradict an FBI agent with somebody that they knew and the defense didn't know. Beyond that. And so you're looking at, and I respect your questions, and I kind of expected that, but it's the kind of issue that causes a jury not to be able to reach a verdict. And that's beyond a reasonable doubt.
Straight up.
And that is what you just presented.
That's a good
when
lawyer.
you contrast it to everything they didn't have. Okay? And so it's disingenuous for the state of Florida to say, hey, we think his case should go in the waste paper basket and give him 10 years with 6 years probation afterwards. But hold on to Mr. Demons. You know, that's a real problem. Well,
I can't hear him, but the way he's looking and talking, it sounds like he don't give a shit. He's not gonna give him bond.
Your Honor, they may make those decisions, and my role, Ms. Howard's role, is this young man getting ready to turn 27. And so I don't get it, but they did it, and there's only one thing that the court can do while you may have doubt, and that is hold them to it, because that is their take on the evidence they have in this case. If the one guy that they know's in the car, forget about the phones, that they know's in the car, and they believe he's lying, if they take the position that he had DNA on him of one of the decedents, if they take the position he had GSR in his hands, but they're going to toss that case, then how in good faith can they say, we got more evidence against Mr. Demings? That is...
Hit that subscribe button, man, if you rocking with me. Let me see that. Let me see some. Hit that subscribe if you rocking with me.
Completely hypocrisy.
So there's no change in circumstances there because that was already not considered by Your Honor. Additionally, the defendant has been found to be held no bond, not only by Your Honor, by Judge Murphy multiple times, and by Judge Siegel multiple times, despite any change in circumstance of his other case, because Judge Siegel had the case before those charges were ever pending and held him no bond, as did Judge Murphy after the trial before those other charges were filed. There was a bond hearing. So regardless of the other case, he has been found to be held no bond because proof evidence presumption rate has been proven by the state. Additionally, Your Honor, to discuss Ms. Boutros, which again I objected because was never discussed in any of their evidence that they presented to Your Honor.
Well, you got banned off kick, boy?
We can go on and on about Ms. Boutros, and we did at length in multiple hearings in front of Judge Murphy, in which the state has filed filings where you could say the same, things about Ms. Boutros that were just said about Detective Moretti. Opinion is an opinion, and those can be argued in court at a different hearing. But for purposes of this hearing, that was not.
So this is the state. Let's see what she got to say. Because Drew up that cooking, I ain't even gonna count.
To the court and transcripts of any sort, and I'm asking the court to simply rely on what was given to Your Honor at the prior hearing that we have said we were relying on. And that's the evidence of this actual case. Take Detective Moretti out of it, you still have the evidence, some of which Your Honor has touched on. The video of the defendant himself getting into the vehicle in the exact seat that is alleged to have been the person, the shooter, shooting the two victims. In addition, we not only have his cell phone evidence of the towers, which you want to get into the FBI agent versus Detective Moretti, it doesn't matter because it's not that they're contradicting themselves. It's that the FBI doesn't testify to certain things because they have certain parameters they're stuck to versus other officers who can testify to other aspects of cell phone towers. In addition, we actually, when we were about to try the case last time, that Detective Moretti would not be testifying to that. We actually hired other experts that have been hired. And so Detective Moretti testifying to that does not matter. In addition to that evidence, we also have the defendant's own cell phone, which presents its own problem that I think the defense has to actually address. Because in the first trial, they said, not my phone, community phone. No issues, right? We can talk about anything in the phone because it's not my phone.
Look, anytime, shout out to the
Attorneys
chat.
and
Nothing bigger
said, no,
than
we're
the
filing
chat.
motion to suppress, and we're...
You know where we at? Ain't nothing bigger than the chat. You know what I'm saying? Hey, pull up anytime, Brody.
Going to say, for the purposes of the motion to suppress, it is our client's phone. And that, I believe, since we're talking about Mr. Adelstein so much in this hearing, Mr. Adelstein specifically said, we will make that determination and have to let the court know before trial whether or not we are going to say it's his phone or not. So we haven't had that determination yet. We haven't.
It was his phone. There was videos of him having sex on the phone.
Still an issue that has to be addressed. But in that phone, the defendant's phone, we have movement activity, health activity that has come out, step activity, all pointing to the defendant using his phone during the time of the crime, which would put him in the car.
Oh, they talking about that phone. Oh.
Put him at the crime scene. Discussing Cortland Henry's dismissal, it shouldn't speak volumes because, as Your Honor notated, decisions like that are made all the time for strategic purposes or whatever it may be, but it does not matter. What matters is we know where the defendant was sitting in the car.
It does matter. They arrested someone for murder and he was facing 5 life sentences, but they dropped it all. That matters.
But it does not matter. What matters is we know where the defendant was sitting in the car. Mr. Henry was the driver, and we know that Mr. Henry was not the shooter. The defendant was the shooter. Significant amount of time today discussing his 7 years in jail and the conditions of his, where he's staying and how he's being treated. The only reason the defendant is not in general population, in a regular dorm, in a regular pod, is because of his own actions. There is an evidence, hundreds of pages of violations, of things he's done, the chances he's been given. And what does he do? He continues to manipulate the system, continues to violate rules, not follow rules, and he's being babysat 24/7 by law enforcement. And we think that a security company that he's paying for is going to be any better? I don't think so.
He's looking into the crowd near the families.
The defendant, as recently as January of this year, was found to be in possession of cell phone chargers, was shown on the internet to be FaceTiming some woman in violation of the rules, and that deputy was, in fact, arrested for giving him that phone. Inability to follow the rules and regulations while in jail, where there's some of the strictest rules and regulations. If we expect him to then follow rules of no social media, no contacting witnesses, things of that nature, while he's out, I think he can't. consciousness of guilt while he's trying to get a hold of Mariah Hamilton, who is a witness in this case. There is evidence of that. And so, based on the defendant's actions through 7 years of him violating rules, of not listening to the deputies, of manipulating the system, he should not be let out. I don't believe there's any sort.
You hear what she said? He should not be let out. Boy, it is not looking good, man. Look, I was leaning towards, like, yeah, when I heard his lawyer talk, I'm like, yeah, he getting out. Now she talking again, I'm like, nah, he ain't getting out. I don't know which way I'm leaning with this shit, dog. I'm kind of like 60% leaning with the state saying he ain't getting out. Other 40% kind of going like, yeah, his lawyer talking good. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. The state kind of winning a little bit, bro.
Sort of conditions that could make sure that the community is safe, that the witnesses are safe, that this trial is safe from all that he has done in the last 7 years. And I'm asking that he be held no bond.
But other than that, I'm not quite sure where that came from. I haven't seen anything that says that he was a shooter. Not one thing. So not quite sure unless there's going to be something that came up over the last couple of years since the 2023 trial. Nothing like that you'll find in the transcript. As far as the conditions, you know, respectfully, Your Honor, the babysat thing. I mean, like he's being done a favor. That people are babysitting. He didn't follow the rules. I mean, it's just.
I don't know which way I want to go. They battling, bro. They fighting. She fighting to keep this nigga in. He fighting to try to get this nigga out. They fighting, bro. Listen to this shit.
It really is. And we're not talking a rural community. We're talking a major city and an important state. And this is the way he's being treated because he should be happy that he's being babysat. He should be happy that he has a basketball court all to himself. These people feel pity on him and feel terrible that he is in isolation. His mom is in the hallway crying when she hears the testimony about how her child lives. And so I think to say that it's going to...
I can see why this lawyer costs so much money.
...be no better when at least he is released so he can feel the tenderness, the hug of his mom, so he can have that beautiful grandmother whisper in his ear, I love you, so he can see his brother and sister and these people that love him. To compare that to his infractions for not putting his linens away, because I read every one of those infractions. It's garbage that it's thousands. It's garbage, okay? There's a lot in there where they're worried about him psychiatrically. He's manifesting strange behavior, pacing back and forth. That's in there, okay? And I don't know where that thing came about the nurse, because that nurse note, I read about that, was somebody concerned about him. Okay, so to compare the two is...
Great lawyer. He did his research. He read all of his fucking little jail. Oh, you want to write me up for not folding my bed properly? And y'all bringing all this shit up in court. What a wonderful lawyer, bro. What a fantastic lawyer. W lawyer.
It's really just shameful, Your Honor. We ask that a bond be set and that the court take into consideration suggestions that we met. And I also add that please be mindful of the fact that Cortland Henry was on pretrial release a substantial amount of time, Your Honor. And so precedent does exist in this case.
Mr. Chairman, you wanted to talk to me about the special set trial order?
Yes, I do. So...
I think he just said he's going to think it over for a day. They come back tomorrow, May 1st. I'll be covering that too. Hey, subscribe. Thanks for the support.
Welcome to the new generation.
Hey, yo, why they always do that? As soon as we about to get into it. Oh, it's over with? Alright, man. Let's see what else on this, man. We just covered a little bit of that Melly shit, man. Let's see what's going on with Melly, man. Long crime. Everybody on Melly today. I just went over it. Let's see whoever covering something. We basically just went over the whole court case. Shout out to YNW Melly, man. I hope he get free. Hope he be alright. We basically just went over the whole trial.
I do.
I know Trap Lord. I just did one 7 months ago. He ain't do one? Oh, he sleep. Trap sleep. Shout out to YNW Melly, man. Should I keep it going, y'all? Should I keep it going, chat? Should I keep it going? If you want me to keep it going, bro, put W's in the chat, bro. Put W's in the chat if you want me to keep it going. If not, I'm gonna end it for the night, man. Keep going. Want me to keep it going? They want me to keep it going. All right. They want me to keep it going, man. I was gonna stop.
And set a reasonable bond. And I'm going to talk in a second about the conditions of release that can be reasonable. And I first want to talk about protecting the community from risk of physical harm. There was nothing presented in the case regarding Mr. Demons that in any way involves his threat to the community. And most important to me is when we talk about this second process is assuring the integrity of the judicial process. So I want to talk about the conditions of release that we would suggest. First, I want the court to think about the testimony that we just heard from Matthew Norman, a distinguished forensic psychiatrist.
Chat, we back live in effect. Hey, yo, chat, I need y'all to hit those subscribes. Shout out to my boy Leo, moderator. Ain't nothing bigger than the chat, man. We back. Let's do it.
That honestly, you heard he's from Georgia. I've really been more against him than with him. We've had some battles through the years, and he's an incredibly ethical and devoted to this issue and all forensic issues regarding mental health. It's worthy of note to me.
Oh my God, bro. Yo, chat, bro. I kind of want to play some of that Melly music, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, bro.
That the state had no cross-examination. And in like fashion, I know that last year there was, I think at the hearing they were going to offer somebody and they served notice like the day before, and we would never do that. We served notice in plenty of time, and I'm sure that that's something the state looked into. But here's what I'm also sure of, just like there was no cross-examination. There's not a mental health expert in America that would agree that these conditions that we heard about are healthy for somebody that went into custody at 19. There's no need to cross-examine.
That nigga said ain't a mental health person in America would agree with that dude. Talking about somebody who went in at 19. That's a good lawyer. Ain't no way that could be good for you.
Because there's nothing to ask. Because it's irrefutable what we heard. It's irrefutable. It's irrefutable that 27% of Mr. Demon's life
oh shit, bro.
Without having been found guilty of a single offense. If we look at him from the time he was turned majority in the state of Florida, 18, 30.5% of his life has been incarcerated. I've looked into the cognitive state, begins, they say, at 3 years old. So his cognitive state of his existence, counsel did say we've been in regular, now we're on the other side of this hearing, we've been in regular communication with one another, and we're trying to, I think everybody's trying to forge ahead. If Ms. Howe and I could make a couple of suggestions.
Damn. Where did it all go wrong? What did it go wrong, bro? Well, let's go take a look and see. Let's go see where this shit went wrong at. Because everything was going so fucking good. YNW Melly. What song that was when they was in the crib together? I think it was Sack Chaser song. Oh, everything was all good, bro. All this shit went wrong there. Black guy, Drake.
Just a day before his 27th birthday, rapper YNW Melly walked.
Beyond a reason.
So what you got?
They got a Florida ball all the way in motherfucking Valley. They got a motherfucking big someone sick all the way in motherfucking Valley. You know what I'm saying? We went through a little Florida water, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. This shit, yeah, we know.
It broke my heart not being able.
One of these.
Where did it all go wrong?
What motive would Melly have to kill his two friends?
They just piss him off? I don't know, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Man, Melly was on FaceTime. Melly like, y'all don't know, bro. Y'all don't know what Sack was doing to me. Y'all don't know, bro. Y'all don't know what Sack was doing to me, bro. Like, saying it like Sack was raping his ass or some shit. So I'm like, what you saying, bro? What you saying? Like, what the fuck Sack was doing to you, nigga? Say it, nigga. He gonna never say, like, he just kept saying, y'all don't know what Sack was doing to me.
Do you think Sack was molesting him?
I don't know, bro. That's why I'm saying, I don't know what the fuck Sack, bro.
How
Like,
could you molest an adult?
I don't know, but like, Sack bigger than Melly. What you think Melly about this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Sack about
6'5".
Bro, Sack picked.
Yeah, we on a block with it. You feel me? Yeah. I'm my boy on a.
And I was like, man, any nigga that fuck with this YNW Melly's friend.
Alright, y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up for the night, bro. I'm gonna get on. Y'all wanna catch me?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you we make that stick and you know you gonna shoot back.
If y'all wanna catch me, bro, catch me on District 99, bro. Catch me on District 99. Alright, y'all. Check out my videos. Like, subscribe. I'm on District 99, bro. Catch me in the Discord, FTCD, baby. Everything FTCD, baby. Follow me, like, subscribe. Y'all got all my shit right there in the chat, man. Follow my shit. Run it up, bro. I just want to make like $20 million and I'm out. Just $20 million. Only way I'm gonna get there if y'all hit that like and subscribe button. If you fuck with me, hit the like button. Oh, I like your videos. Well, if you like it so much, subscribe. Hey yo, and with that being said, man,
FTC Records. Why you drinking that shit out the bottle? Like,
I was smoking.